come and arrest him. Should he do it?
I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows.
What did your intel tell you about these people causing all the problems?
Oh,
Are they people ICE is trying to deport, or are they professional agitators?
the people that are causing the problem are professional agitators. They're insurrectionists. They're bad people. They should be in jail.
Thank you, Amy, who said, we must not let it be forgotten. This started because Donald Trump's federal government invaded Los Angeles to kidnap mothers and fathers from elementary school events, jobs, and their homes. I mean, and, you know, you just, I mean, we obviously all went, January 6th, but you wrote that too. You threaded Trump's memo sending in the National Guard says, to the extent that protests or acts of violence directly inhibit the execution of the laws, they constitute a form of rebellion against the authority of the government of the United States. You said, which sounds a ton like January 6th,
right?
Because of course it does.
Yeah, and you know, and obviously, and then that wasn't any kind of insurrection. I mean, I think that's also one of the things that Trump does is he uses the language that is used against him to define other things. And so now he wants to redefine insurrection so that it's associated with this and not January 6th.
Yeah. I mean, and really? You can't spit on our police officers? Oh, okay, but it's okay to tase them and beat them with, you know, Trump flagpoles and God knows what else.
American flags.
Yeah.
Beating them with poles with American flags on them.
Yeah. I can't imagine what our friend Harry Dunn is thinking this morning, but maybe we'll see if we can chat with him this week. This acting ICE director demands Americans stop criticizing ICE, and you said alternatively we can demand this perverse stay and go himself. Here. I mean, but you know, go ahead.
Don't criticize us. Don't criticize us.
Yeah.
You're making us feel bad when we go out and round up children and zip tie them.
Yeah.
Don't make us feel bad for doing that.
Yeah. I mean, rudeness, I got to say, your piece was dead on and scary, especially for those of us in the epicenter right now in Los Angeles. You said we're finally on our own, Trump versus America. And you just said we look at the Kent State massacre and think it was a damn nightmare moment in 20th century American history. Trump and his debased ilk look at it and think, too bad the National Guard didn't kill more of those commie hippies. Do-over. That's what they're looking for. Yep. For BLM, George Floyd protests, you name it. He now has nobody that will say, no, sir, you can't shoot protesters, right?
Right. And you know, and I'm just thinking about, I mean, you must know people who back in the day would have said, the problem is they weren't more violent with protesters. That outside of Chicago, in Chicago in 1968, the police should have beaten them more. You know, there is that kind of conservative from that era, and yes, I'm not just criticizing boomers, since boomers were also the ones who were gunned down at Kent State.
Yeah,
but
he looks at Tiananmen Square and goes, "Oh, F&A, man.
Yeah,
sounds good.
It's a great idea."
I mean, look at that. Look at the visuals of these howitzers and tanks rolling into D.C. for his, what is it, Small in the Pants parade? JoJo calls it.
And did you see that one of them had a message written on it that said F Fauci and Gates? Yeah.
Okay.
Gates, Fauci and Gates.
Fauci and Gates. Yep.
God, you know, whenever they bring this stuff up, I just think, what friggin' P words they are.
Yeah.
You know, just the lamest friggin' people. Like, oh, I'm going to be mad at the doctor and the philanthropist. Yeah. That's who's going to be the target
Bill Gates.
of my
I didn't even know who you meant.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Oh, Bill Gates. Yeah, sure. He's obviously a major threat to the world.
No, Henry Louis Gates. It's Henry Louis Gates because, you know what? I'm tired of him tracing people's genealogy back to slave-owning times.
You write, the protesters who blocked ICE officers in Paramount, California, after they had raided the local Home Depot, Dale's Donuts in L.A. County, and picked up migrants who were not committing any crime other than the misdemeanor of being in a place without the right papers, might be heroic, but to Trump, it's a chance for a redo of the 60s and 70s. Man, this is right on, Brood. You said Trump has a... I can't say that, can I?
No, you cannot.
Okay. For murder, for his whole pathetic, worthless life, valorizing mobsters and dictators.
Oh.
Pining for the
Wait,
chance
you can't
to
use
enact...
the proper term?
No.
I used the proper term.
I know. I know.
yeah.
You didn't say BJ. You said the F word. Okay. Listen, let's move on. Pining for a chance to enact the dream of crazed conservatives since Kent State. I mean, that's what this feels like. I mean, it's already dangerous. I mean, Maxine Waters said it. She's like, the point of bringing in the National Guard is just ultimately shoot protesters. They want to send a message, and here we are.
Right. The National Guard, which mostly is trained to help in rescue situations, like during the fires out in L.A., and now you're going to bring them in and tell them they need to guard the streets. It's just ridiculous, Yeah. And every time it's done, it either ends up with nothing happening or something bad happening. They brought in the National Guard to help patrol the subways in New York when supposedly crime was going crazy. And it was like, and all they did was stand around.
And is any reporter going to ask a question about January 6th and pardoning all these terrorists, many of whom have been rearrested for other crimes now? I mean,
no,
and you said,
and some of whom are suing the government for
and we're paying restitution to
Mm-hmm.
terrorist Ashley Babbitt's family. I mean,
Yeah.
and you said it. You got that. If you slightly inconvenience the mass arrest of peaceful people, it's rebellion. If you say rampage through the Capitol, vandalize the building, attack law enforcement, prevent the constitutionally mandated certification of the electoral votes at a presidential election while threatening to hang the vice president, that's patriotism, mother. And if you say otherwise, I mean that's. I think they love the owning the libs quality of all this because of January 6th.
Oh, absolutely. This is like Christmas to them for that kind of stuff. They get the bonus of they get to round up migrants, and then they get the bonus of making the libs look bad. They think. But because all they're doing is getting everything through their echo chamber and not hearing what's really going on, not hearing all the people saying, Los Angeles isn't on fire. This is one little part of Los Angeles where this is going on. And it's not even that violent.
I'm glad this show emanates from L.A. for us to be able to say over and over, Rude, this did not need to happen.
Nope,
we were fine. Governor Newsom is right. We were fine until Trump escalated
peaceful protests.
Right, and provoked this. Yep. I mean, you said...
And has the manager of any restaurant that they've raided been arrested? I mean, has the person running the construction site where they've arrested people been taken in? I mean, it's against the law to hire people who are undocumented.
Yeah.
Why aren't the white people that are involved in this getting arrested too?
White people. Okay, that's so cute. But here's the dark, because you always go dark on me. This is what happens. Right. You said, I honestly don't know how we get out of this without the violence that Trump so obviously craves. Everything has been building to this chance, whether it was calling for the Central Park, now the exonerated 5 to be executed. After they were exonerated, thanks. Or encouraging protesters at his Nazi rallies to be beaten, or watching to see if Mike Pence or Nancy Pelosi were murdered on January 6th. He wants to kill people so badly so he can join the ranks of those he worships, so he can make up for all those times that the Marxist liberal crazies got away with it. And then, as we talked about earlier, you said, remember, he had to be talked out of unleashing the military on Black Lives Matter protests. He won't be convinced this time. The hope, of course, is that the people of Los Angeles, with our encouragement and support, will stand firm in the first real test of Trump versus America. Wow, man. And you just end by saying you're going to see the protesters blamed, but there's only one person who caused all of this, all of it, all the that is f***ing up our lives, and it's Donald Trump. He could end this by stopping his deranged missions to bleach the United States white, but I think the chaos is his Viagra, so he's not going to stop until he fucks us all. Thank you. Ending on a very, very rude note, which I expected. That was not a happy ending. You did not give me a happy...
You skipped the whole optimistic part there. There's an optimistic part there that's about the unions and how the unions are upset about the SEIU president being injured and arrested when he was just acting as an observer at the protests, and SEIU locals all over the country are setting up protests. Other unions are joining in. The Teamsters have announced that they support Huerta and Daniel Huerta, and they are. This is one way to get more people active. People who might not actually get active is to get the unions involved, get the workers to see that this is an attack on them and an attack on their brothers and sisters in the union.